Hello everybody, this is Backblast. Here I am again on Planet Zoo, Chester Zoo. What you're about to see is a live stream that I broadcast on Twitch on the 2nd of December, and it's an unedited video from that. So you won't be able to see anything like the chat or any of the comments that I got on the day, but you will hear me replying to those comments throughout the video. It was supposed to be a build, but I only had an hour anyway, and it turned into a walk round of the zoo. And people were interested in looking around the various parts of the zoo, so that's what you're going to see. I'll be streaming again next week on Tuesday the 8th of December from 3 PM on Twitch, so I hope you join me for that. That'll be fantastic. If not, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy seeing around my Chester Zoo project as it stands right now. And continue watching the videos. Thanks a lot for listening. Here's the live stream as it happened. Hello everybody, this is Backblast. Here I am again on Twitch. Wow, it's been a long while since we've been on here, mainly because of the pandemic type things that have been going on, but also, ooh, got a bright light, whoa, bright light. Also, my wife has been using the broadband to teach from home. My wife's a teacher, and yeah, it's I've had to take a step back because this doesn't pay the bills. And my wife does. So what we're going to do today is we've got our Chester Zoo build here. We're going to be noodling about in that. I'm only here for an hour. In fact, I'm only here for about 50 minutes. I need to be off before my wife needs the broadband again. And so I need to be like a ninja. I need to be in and out, and that'll be it. Yeah, so what I'll do is, for those of you that haven't seen the stream before or seen the zoo before, I'm going to do a very brief fly over the zoo, just pointing out some of the highlights and lowlights, and then what we'll do is we'll start looking at some of the building bits that I'm doing on the new side of the zoo. So let's just have a look at that. There is a plan to do the car park. It's not there at the moment. We've just got the 2 spawn points, and everybody comes in through these gates, so it looks as though they're coming in past the windows where you would normally get your tickets from. And then once you've got your tickets, you go through these gates or through the shop, and all this is free. You can get in this for free. You can wander about up to here. I'm not convinced those doors are open in real life, and you can actually go into the elephant house and have a wander about in there. It's not finished in game, and there's a few bits that aren't finished out here, but yeah, you can go in and out, and then see the elephants from here. And then when you're ready, you go through these gates, and these are the actual gates to get you into the rest of the zoo. So there we go. So we've got the Bembe shop there, which is pretty cool, and behind the Bembe shop, and I imagine you can get to these for free as well. There's a seating area, and this is warthogs in real life. A lot of these areas are unfinished. I mean, it's built. You know, the environment's there, the walls are there. It's just not quite finished, and a lot of them don't look as though they're finished. It's a lot of the things in between, you know, foliage and fencing and things like that. It just needs looking at. Quite like the Rhino house down here. It looks fairly accurate, actually, and I do like the way that we've managed to get both the enclosures in. So there's 2 different sides to the house inside, where you've got some rhino on this side and some rhino on that side, and these go out into this enclosure, and these go into this enclosure, which is over there. This is one of my favourite parts of the build. This is one of the first bits that we built, and again, I look at it now and think, oh, it needs a bit of work. It needs a bit more doing to it. But you can wander in here, and these are the painted dogs, as they were called in Chester Zoo. I don't know if they still are, but they are African dogs in game. And in here we have the rock Hyrax, which aren't in game. It's just a lot of little things, you know. The floor needs work, and a few more plants and things. But I look at a lot of the later things I'm building, and I can just see the difference is immense, really. I used to like that area. I'm not that keen on it now. I do like this bridge though. This bridge took ages because you're dealing with water, pathways, and this is actually barrier as well. This mesh is barrier. So trying to get all three of those built in the same area, that was a nightmare. This was the aardvark area. Not big enough in game to be used by aardvarks. Over here we have, I think these are bongo at the moment. Oh, Nyala. Oh, bongo are in the next one, aren't they? They're over there. Yeah, I can't remember if it is Nyala in there. I don't know. These are rowan antelope in game and in real life. And there is actually a little hut here, which I don't have any details on, so I can't build it. These are zebra in both game and real life. This obviously an area that still needs a lot of work doing. There's some aviaries and things there. Maybe I'm hoping for aviaries to come into the game, but I think mostly I'm just putting them off because I don't have the photographs to support the build, which is unfortunate. Let's wander down this way. This is an area for some small mammals of monkey varieties. So there's one there, and the other building is there. We're going to walk past that. But they have this this beautiful barrier work, which in real life it's a very, very nice smooth wooden fascia on the inside. You can't actually use these two locations in game because the animals will just escape because these aren't real barriers, but they look accurate. And here we are. There's the house for them and the keeper entrance part. This is deliberately like this. This is actually like that in real life. There is nothing there. It's empty. Although I seem to believe that this is more wooded along here. Maybe I need to put some more plants in there. We do have a picnic area. This is a like a children's climbing area, which I have two different photographs of, which are conflicting. And I've asked the owners of the photographs which one is the correct way round, and I've had no reply. So I can't really continue with that until I know which way round everything is. So that's a shame. We have the bat house there. It's quite an early build on the project. And in here we do have, I think, cockroaches, because there are cockroaches in real life in there. Oh, it's actually empty. Okay, but there's a cockroach place there. There are a few other exhibits in here in real life. And then this is the free-flying bat area. I like this building. It's turned out quite well. It's not as dark as I'd like it to be, but the game has this way of lighting things strangely, and sometimes indoor bits aren't as dark as they should be. So we have got an inner skin on this, so the walls and the ceiling are black, but when we go outside they aren't. Lots of fruit hanging up there. On the outside everything's green. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So it's a double skin on that. I do like that. We walk this way. There's the walkway that goes across. There's some cheetah enclosures and things like that, which I plan to put in at some point. There's the seating area around the snacks. And over here is the monkey house. Again, the monkey house was quite an early build on in the Chester Zoo. There's an enclosure here needs putting in yet, and this needs fencing. But this is all part of the monkey house, which actually looks pretty good from the outside. There are 3 different areas on this side of the monkey house, and as you can see, there's a hole in there, and that will lead to this outside area. There's nothing in there at the moment. This one leads out through that hole, and this does have, I believe, it's still got some. Has it still got some? Yes, there are still animals in there. We do have our baboon, I believe, a mandrill. There we go, mandrills wandering about in there, and they can get in and out through that, which is pretty cool. It was a again, quite a challenging build, that one, because there's a staff walkway runs all the way along the back of this, and we've managed to get the enclosure so that the animals can go in and out, and they will go in this bit over the staff walkway, which is pretty cool. And again, the third one, 2 different exits there. Nothing in that one just yet. A lot of the enclosures are empty because of the frame rates. It's a lot of people think that it's the people that cause frame rate issues in this game, and it isn't. And a lot of people think it's the amount of items you've got in the build, and it is a tiny bit, but the biggest problem is the actual animals, because what happens is, with the people, it's quite easy to path them. So the game just says, oh, well, there's a path. They can walk along any path. And it leaves it at that. It doesn't do anything weird or strange. With the animals, it's different, because they need to be able to path an area. And it's an area that isn't defined by something that the game knows about. It's not like a path where you can say, right, they can only go on these paths. It's like, well, we've defined an area, and what we need to do then is work out where in that area the animal can actually go. So it's constantly looking at where the barrier is, and it's then looking at, well, okay, that's barrier, but also these bits of wood here are classed as barrier, so the animals can't walk through that. So it needs to then configure that. It needs to configure that, right, there's rocks in there, so those are a barrier. There's water there, so we can go there, but we need to change the animation. And it's doing that for all the animals all the time. And that is the biggest issue with the game, stuttering. And a lot of people think it's the people wandering about the zoo. It isn't. You can have 3,000 people in the zoo fairly happily, with no real issues. But if you try and put lots and lots of animals in, that's when you have problems. So be aware of that. Because, I mean, the zoo here, it is actually quite a large zoo. I mean, we've built a lot of Chester Zoo, of which I need to keep going on my quick wander around before we start building. I haven't got that long to build today. So from the elephants over there, you wander over here. We have an aviary over this side, which, again, because there's no aviaries in the game, we've had to sort of represent with a few wires and cables. This is camels and onagers in real life. I've left the monorail in, and it will be running at some point as we build the second station up. Oh, we do have a camel down there. So I know that the monorail in the zoo has now gone, or most of it's now gone. But we are leaving it in because this was a snapshot. I actually think that the enclosure here, which is it's got some condors in there, I believe, at the moment, and a few others. There's some ibis, I think, as well, and it's I think the representation of it's quite good. I think I've done a good job of it, with the wall and the rock wall at the back and the water feature at the front. I think it actually looks pretty good. Let's wander over here. This is a little feature with the water underneath it, and you can see across the water to the giraffe house, and we do have some giraffe over there. We can wander around that in a bit. Butterfly journey is not finished. The building's there, the walkway inside is there. In fact, both walkways, there's a path and a raised walkway. And there will be some exhibits in the back here, just exhibits. So this is the obviously the giraffe area over there, but now we have the new lion enclosure over this way, which has only been there for about 12 months in real life, and so it's all the plants are fairly new plants. There's nothing that's too tall in here yet. You can see over to the tropical house. We'll have a wander through that in a bit. In real life, there are mongoose in this area, and the lions are outside. We do have some lions in here. There's a female, and there's a tower out the back, which is only for staff, and they can put meat on this, like a a zip wire and drop the meat into the enclosure right in front of the window. An interesting thing actually with this area is the rock here in real life is heated, so the lions actually go and sit on that quite a lot because it keeps their bottoms warm. Hello there. Yes, thank you for that. It is I don't know if you've been following my YouTube channel, but it is a recreation of Chester Zoo in the UK, and it is as accurate as I can make it with the pieces I've got. So this isn't just a random zoo, it is Chester Zoo in the UK, which is probably Britain's biggest and best zoo. I don't know where you're from, but thanks for joining me, and any questions, just pop them in the chat. So we're going to wander up here. Again, this is past the giraffe and the backstage area of the giraffe. We're going to go over the bridge actually, so I can show you the tropical house. We're going to go up here. We're not on Tejig cam, so just bear the rough camera work. Okay, on the right here is the secret world of the Okapi, which goes into the back of the giraffe house. I don't know if I've got Okapi in there at the moment because of the stuttering of the game. And this is actually the giraffe house in real life. But over here we have the tropical house. Now out the front here there's an enclosure for red river hogs, which we don't have in game yet, or I don't know if there are plans for them, but they're not in game. We're going to wander through the tropical house. Let's go there. Tropical realm. Through the entrance doors. On the left here is an area for a lizard called a tuatara, which is a New Zealand lizard. And over here there are there's an area for some tortoise, which has the sun lamps in there. And again over here more tortoise all the way down this side. I love building this building. This was a great building to build. I especially like all the columns and the roof, and the way I've got the brackets and things up there. I think it's worked out really well. This I'll show you a bit more of that as we go up the pathway. But this is where tortoise would be in there. Heat lamps again. I like this bit as well. So there's a rock seating area here, and I've managed to build it over the pathway. So underneath here are actual benches, so people will come and sit on these rocks. It's really really pretty good. You're in the UK? No, the zoo. Very well. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Good, good. So you'll be familiar with the tropical realm. There's some small deer in there in real life, but obviously not in game. We do have a few things in here. So we've got a couple of the exhibits. There's another one around the corner here where people can come and have a look through the windows. And in real life, again, there's a lot of frogs and lizards and snakes in here. Around here, there are alligators in there. And then all this bit is bird enclosures down here. There are free-flying birds in this area wandering about. Obviously not in game because the game doesn't support that. And over here there are some hornbill. In real life this is actually two enclosures split down the middle, but it just looked better as one when I was building it. So let's go up the little pathway. I like this as well. I think I've done a good job with the rock work on here. This is as it is. There are pillars in the middle of the walkway going up to the next level. Just bear with me with the camera. Sorry about that. Just anyway, we're on the roof. So it brings you out at the top of the hornbill enclosures there, but you can see across. You can see the bird enclosures down the side, and then also up here is they're all bird enclosures along here. They're all separated, but I've left them as one in game for the moment. I believe there's a doorway here, which is a staff doorway, which takes you to the back of these enclosures, but I didn't have any photographs of it, so I wasn't 100% sure about that, so we've had to just leave that as it is. Let's fly down over there. Good. Yeah, the videos are on YouTube. Feel free. Some of the later ones are better. Some of the early ones are a bit long. So later on ones I've tended to try and keep to about 10 minutes. And certainly feel free to wander through those. This is a kind of nocturnal area, as you can see by the red lights. We've got infrared lights. In real life, these aren't allowed out of the back. There are some, I think something like cotton-headed tamarins or capuchins or something like that are out there. But in game, because they were nocturnal, I couldn't sort of stop them going out, which is a good thing really. But they've got these two enclosures here, and then they can go out the back, and I'll show you that in a sec. This is a staff area behind there, and there's actually a generator in there. I don't know if there is in real life, but there is in game. Again, there's a little enclosure there. And then as you wander out the back, you can see where they can come out, and there's a little island for them. And it actually goes around the side of the tropical house a little way in real life as in the game. Where should we go now? These are sand lizards. I believe there's adders in there as well now, but again, no sand lizards or adders in game. Right, we're at the back now. This is the Jaguar House, so this is the back of the park. Looks good from the outside. Again, one of the earlier builds that I did, so it needs a lot of work. There's a lot of rock work and plants need to go into the aquarium bit there. And I need to finish off the insides and the outsides of the enclosures. None of them are particularly themed at the moment, so we'll be coming back to do this. But there you go. They're fairly plain inside. The outside on this side is done a little. Oh. But that brings us to the next bit. So we've got down here, this is all education suite, and there's a shop on the end, so this is like the learning center. There's more bits to be put in here. There's some bird enclosures there, so you can see the learning center here and the snack bar at the end and the playground over there. And we've got the realm of the red ape, which is quite a large building here. We're just going to flip up here. We can see the Chimp House there and the Chimp Islands, and over to the tropical house over that way. And then up we go again. Let's go up here into here. So this is one of the builds that I sort of like it, but I think needs a bit more work. It was a challenge again to get it right, because the pathways are too wide in game. In real life, these are only 2 meters wide, and in game you can get a 2 meter wide path, but it's very, very difficult. So it hasn't quite worked out. The dimensions of the building on the outside are right. On the inside, they're not right, because the pathways are too wide. So everything else has suffered. So in real life, when you're walking down here, it's a 2 meter wide path. And on this side, there are enclosures for snakes, lizards, frogs, and that sort of thing. So out here, we can see out the back, we've got a staff building there. And we just wander down. You can see into the enclosure down there, and these are all orangutans. And we wander down here. This bit needs finishing. There's a little walkway runs around this, which goes around here about there, and then this bit over here is that's for, I think, short clawed otters. I think they're in there. There's some otters in there anyway. We have the rest of the orangutan area there. Now, we have the Flamingo Enclosure in here. Now, this has all changed. So, in the time that the zoo's been closed, they've taken all this out. And there's now, it's a bird walkthrough, and it isn't quite finished yet. But I believe the entrance is about here, and you can walk on a raised platform across this, and there's a big net over the top, and you can see the Flamingo House. I think they've kept the building, and I think it's still going to be flamingos, but you will be able to walk through it. Don't quote me on any of that, but it's still not finished, so I can't tell you. I haven't been to the zoo since January in 2020, so I am a little bit behind with where the zoo's up to. Let's go and have a look at this. This is going to be interesting because this is the penguin house, and there is actually a water filter system in there in real life, so it was nice to be able to put that in and have a space for it. If you walk down to the penguins, you can see the water and the actual area where the rock work is, and it's not snowy, it's fake snow. It's made out of concrete that's been painted. The reason I said this is interesting is because penguins are coming to the game, and penguins are coming to the game, what date is it now? In less than a week. Yeah, the otters and the penguins shall be coming very, very soon. Are otters in the new pack? I didn't know if they were or not. Certainly penguins are. I didn't realise otters were. But yeah, okay, that's cracking. I'll show you. Actually, there's another otter area that I've built rather than that one. So we'll go to that in a minute. We just want to walk up here. There's two things up here. So there's the staff building, which is here. So if I just show you that briefly, that is all there. We've got all the staff building in. There's a nice little walkway in the middle, and all the car park is out of the back there for all the staff, and the staff entrance for there. Otters, penguins, seal and caiman. Okay, so that's good. So we'll get otters and penguins, but there are no seal in Chester. Caimans, maybe. So this is actually an otter house. There's actually one of those domes here where you can stick your head in it and you're underwater in the enclosure. But this is an otter house, and it runs down this side of the zoo. So that's the back of the otter house, and then the actual otter enclosure is here, which is all pretty good. I like this building. I think I did a good build on this. The wood looks great. I love this fence at the end. It's got little eye holes at different heights, so little children or adults can see in. But that's nice. Hopefully the otters will just go straight in there, which will be fantastic. I just want to take you to this bit, which is on the right, which we missed out. And a lot of people miss this when they walk around the zoo. But there's actually a sunken garden down here. And you can walk around this and sit down, and it's a lovely little place. The statue isn't exactly right. It's a kind of Neptune figure in real life. I sort of made this out of some roots and all sorts of things. But that's quite a nice little spot that not a lot of people know. I once saw some red squirrels down here in real life. Red squirrels. Not the grey ones, the red ones. Right, wander down here. And what we've got down here is June's Pavilion, which used to be called the Jubilee Restaurant. This was one of the most epic builds I've ever done. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's got all this wooden beaming on the outside. All these are individual planks. We made all the vents ourselves, and I'll show you the roof in a minute because that was the big thing. But it's all hexagonal in here. It's amazing. No shops in there yet. Again, I built the building. I haven't filled it out yet, but the roof is astonishing. I think there's on each of these tops here. I think there's 3,000 pieces in each one. In each one, not in the whole roof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 27,000 pieces just on those. That's quite an epic build. There's a staff canteen out the back here, which is used as a staff canteen and a power plant at the moment for me. And that's out the back of June's. This is interesting here. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but if you walk around, there's a fake canal lock here in real life. And check it out. That's outside June's food court, just there, just before you get to toilets and things. Which way shall I walk now? Let's wander down here. On the right is where I've been already. I didn't want to walk down here. I wanted to walk down. Actually, I wanted to walk down at the back of this, but never mind. Let's walk down here. Monorail control room, monorail buildings here. Just no power to it yet, I don't think. No, my PC's not that bad actually. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's not the number of people in the game, and it's not the number of pieces in the game that tends to slow it down. The thing that slows the game down is the number of animals, and people always think it's I think initially they think it's the people wandering about, and it's not. The amount of pieces affects the game a little bit, but it's the animals. It's any of the animals, especially the climbing ones, because the game constantly has to work out where the animals can go to, where they can climb to, which bits they can interact with, and it's having to do that all the time for all the animals, and it's that really plays havoc with the game. Let me just show you around this bit. This is the back of the, is it called the Jubilee Shop? I think it's the Jubilee gift shop. And this is the Madagascar area here, which again, I think I did a good job of building this. This looks really nice. If you wander around it, we do have these little areas where you can go in and look at the exhibit. In real life, the mesh isn't behind there. It's just a glass panel. So you've got mesh here, and then it's glass panel, but it is connected to this building. I couldn't connect the buildings up in game because the climbing animals would climb out through the wooden pieces. It's all a bit complicated, but unfortunately it just wouldn't work. I've got some lemurs in there, and I've got lemurs in there. This isn't actually a lemur enclosure in real life. It's for an animal called a fossa, which looks a little bit like a dog, but it's quite slinky. It's got quite short legs. And this should be the lemur exhibit, but again, because of the way these entrance and exit buildings are set up, where they go through the fencing, the animals can actually climb through the fence by climbing onto the building and then just walking across the building, and it ignores the fence. So we couldn't have those in, but in game we can wander around here, and it is an indoor enclosure. Ignore these pieces for now, I'll explain those in a second. But yeah, you can walk around here. I did actually put lemurs in here when I first built it to show it off, and the lemurs climb up these poles and along the ropes, which is really pretty cool. I've seen in real life, I've seen lemurs climbing on the netting on the inside, which is really good. Really? What, they're climbing through the fences? Really? Okay, well, I'll have a look at that. That's interesting. I'll have a look at that. Thanks for that. But what I've got is, let's assume that it's still an issue, okay? These pieces are what you would need to make this enclosure work. So if you select one of these pieces, it also selects a building. So if I click that one, it selects that building. If I click that one, it selects that building, and this one selects that building. This one isn't an issue apparently. But what happens is, because these were an issue, in order to put animals in here, you would need to delete that building. So the way I've done it is, if you select the cross and delete the cross, I'm not going to do it now, it'll take a couple of seconds to get rid of it and rebuild it again. But yeah, if you select the cross, press delete, it will get rid of the cross and the building, and you need to do that for all those. You can then use it for animals. It won't look as accurate as it does now, because that looks pretty good, but it will be usable for animals. For those of you that aren't aware, this build is actually available in the Steam Workshop. So if you go and check out my YouTube, some of the videos there are announcing when I've put up new versions of this to the Steam Workshop. So let's cut across here. In fact, no, let's not cut across here. Let's go down here, There's a couple of bits around here. So this is the dunes. Oh, it's called fountains now, isn't it? This is being knocked down, and it's being knocked down about now or in the next couple of months. We've got the Dragons in Danger building. This was too small to put Komodo dragons in, so in real life they're in there. And this is mainly birds along the sides. We can have a wander through here. There's a boat here, and there's another enclosure there. And this is another Komodo dragon enclosure here, but it was too small. Even if I joined all these two up and the outside area, it was too small for Komodo dragons. In game, they just didn't like it. Good, I'm glad you like it. It's took me a while, and I'm still building. Cool. What else now then? We've wandered over this side. That's the back of the flamingos. I wanted to show you maybe the stables building, so let's go over there. I skipped a few bits over here actually. I'll give you a brief overview of this. This is a nice little area. We've got toilets here. We've got some African buffalo in there. I actually thought there were buffalo in there. I thought I'd left them in. I might have taken them out. I'm not sure I know what's in there. This has got okapi in it. And this is the Chimp House with the Chimp Islands, and there's another part of the Chimp House in there. I've got some staff buildings in there, so you can see I've used part of it to put a solar panel in, and I think that's a keeper hut there. But we've been through that bit. We've seen most of that. We've seen the Dragons in Danger. So let's go and have a look at the front of these stables, which is over here. Yeah, I'm quite a way off finishing the zoo. Although I can see the end in sight, but then there's a lot of bits that I want to come back and have another look at and just tidy up or change slightly. This is pretty good. I'm quite pleased with how this turned out. The one thing that this needs is a spire on here. It needs some sort of tower on there, and then when this is finished, I'm going to use this again. I'm going to put some staff. In real life, this is used for storage of machinery and things like that. I'm going to put some staff buildings in here. A power station, a water station, that sort of thing. And a keeper hut and that sort of thing. It's in a good spot there. What else have we got over here? I've blocked out some of the areas where some other buildings go. So there's a toilet goes there. This is these are kind of greenhouses, but you can walk through them. And then there's a parrot thing going on here, and then there's some owl enclosures down here. So I've already mapped out where they're going. If you've not seen this before, again, you can see I've got grid lines on here. So what I did, I don't know if you can see this actually. No, you can't. You can't see my my desktop. What I did was I got an overhead photograph of Chester Zoo, and then I marked on it all the grid lines for the zoo. So everything that I've built should be in pretty much the exact spot that it covers in the zoo. So let's go over here. So wander around this bit. We haven't touched this bit yet. This is another nice little enclosure. Nothing in there at the moment. This is oh, it has. Why is there no power to you? Oh no, there is. There we go. Beds tapir. So yes, this is used for tapirs, and there are a few in there. It's quite a long enclosure, goes all the way back down, way down there. So it's quite a big place, and they've got this this funny little area at the side with the shading on it. On the right is the Anteater. And again, we do have Anteater in there. And then as you come down here on the left, we have, oh, there's one, a running bear. There he goes. These are spectacled bear in real life, or Andean bears, sometimes they're called. But we don't actually have those. Thank you very much for the follow. Dan Austin 92, thank you. There we go, swimming about, and there's a baby bear there, having a little wander. There we go, so we're going to wander down this way. I explained at the beginning of the video, I haven't actually got long today. My wife needs the internet at 3 o'clock so she can actually do real work, whereas I'm just messing about here. I was going to do some building today in this zoo, but I just got caught up in showing you around. Let's wander up this way. So yeah, if you're not aware already, I do have a YouTube channel where most of these builds are shown. Unfortunately, I'm not on Twitch as much as I'd like to be. I can't use the bandwidth while my wife is using it. So unfortunately, my Twitch output is very, very low at the moment and a bit erratic. How do I decide what to do next? It depends on what I've got photographs for. So I went to the zoo in January 2020. This is a toilet here, toilet blocks in there. And I took a load of photographs. And the areas that I've got photographs of have been built, or most of them have. And I need a lot of information from the internet in order to build things. So I use Google Maps. I use a company called Zulex. Zulex is a good little website. They show enclosures that they've built for other zoos. You can see I'm quite pleased with this building. That looks really, really good. Again, took me a while to get that right, but I think that looks fantastic. I'm also on ZooChat. Hello, Viper. Yes, it has been a while, but it's not a regular thing, unfortunately. I just jumped on for an hour. So yeah, I use ZooChat as well, and there's a lot of photographs on there. Unfortunately, with places like ZooChat, people go to the zoos and take photographs of the animals, which is fine. However, I need photographs of the enclosures. Right, there's just two more bits to show you, and it's these two bits here. These are part of the new islands part of the zoo, an area that I've only just started building, and you can see the two pathways that come into here. This is one, there's another one goes in here. There's a lot of staff things going on around here which I need to build, but these are the two bits that I've actually built here. So we're going to take you in through here. So this is the Sun Bear exhibit. There's an outdoor enclosure there which you can't really see from the outside, but you go through these little rope things here, and then there's Sun Bear. So again, no Sun Bear in game at the moment, although there are plans to bring Sun Bears in, probably. So don't quote me on it. I have seen some evidence that they're working on them, but don't quote me on it. Much better inside here. All the floors look better. I like this as well. I think I've done a pretty good job on recreating that. In real life, the exits to the enclosures are here and here, but they obviously too small to let creatures in and out in game. So we've got those two there. This is the staff entrance where they can get in and out. So let's go back to this bit. I like this bit as well. It sort of juts out a little bit, and it allows people to get right up to the fences and see the second half of the exhibit. There are bears in there, not some bears. I think I put some Formosan bears in there, so we can't see them because they're just not in view. Let's wander out of here. And this is the last exhibit that I've built, and this is the tigers. And there we go, right on cue. We have a tiger just sat there for us, wandering about. This is the building for them. I'll show you a top-down view in a minute. Interesting enclosure this, because it goes over the pathway, and obviously you can then walk through under it. So let's go and have a look at that now. It's funny. It's all sort of bushes along here. You can't see. This is open because there's another enclosure here, which is tapir, I think. So yeah, so apart from Google Maps, I use my own photographs. I use anything I can find on the internet, including videos where people have wandered around the zoo and taken video. This is the tiger enclosure. We're underneath the tiger enclosure walkover. There was that tiger. Hello. And just various sources like that. So it really depends. Some of the areas in zoo, I have no idea what they are. And so some people will say, oh yeah, it's an aviary, or it's this or it's that. But finding photographs is really what allows me to build certain areas. So as you can see, I think I've done a pretty good job on the tiger enclosure there. That's the entirety of it. There are 2 tigers in there. So you can see there's this bit with the glass windows and the pool. This is the walkthrough bit where you can see out through here and you can see out through here. And then obviously there's that bit. This is the house. This is actually got a mesh roof on it, which I might put in. I'm also in the middle of putting in the top of the fence over here. So the top of the fence is curved over like this. You see how it's curved on top? So I'm in the process of doing that at the moment. Cool, cool. I've built the boat. The boat actually goes round the islands area, but there's a lot of things to build in there yet. And I've also planned out the area for the Monsoon Forest, so you can see where it's going to go to. These are actually in the right place. So it will go to these spots here. The back of the building runs along here. The front of the building runs round here, round down here, and then round here. So it's a funny shape. It's like a backwards B or a forwards B if you're that way. So that's that. I think I've pretty much been around the whole zoo. It's taken me about 50 minutes. So that's my building time gone. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, my Twitch output has been very low because my wife is having to work from home and use the broadband, which is a real shame. So my Twitch is a bit irregular at the moment. I am on Facebook as Backblast, so please look for that. And I am on YouTube. There might be links actually on the Twitch channel to the YouTube channel, and possibly even the Facebook channel. I don't know. So please check those out. I release at least one video a week for Planet Zoo, and it's usually the Chester Zoo one. That comes every Monday. There'll be a Chester Zoo video and me building something. As I said recently, I've tried to keep those down to about 10-minute videos, and they're more of a walkthrough of the area after I've built it. But there are some build videos in there and some speed build videos as well. So that's about it. I think I'm going to leave it there because I don't actually have time to build anything now. I need to relinquish my my broadband time, and that'll be it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and thanks for the follow as well. I hope to see you in chat another time. And Viper, it'll probably be another 6 months before I speak to you again. But thanks for dropping by. That's it from me. My name is Backblast. I'll catch you next time.